Hello and welcome to the second in a series of videos about the Pipeline Pilot Chemistry SDK, PPChem SDK. In this example, we're going to use the SDK to create a tool. This is based on published work by the Professor Thomas Farmer and his group. I've given you a link to a paper there. I urge you to read it. And the tool is a very simple scatter plot which shows different classes of molecule and is an aid to the synthetic chemist to move away from petrochemicals-based production of chemical products. So let's get going. What we want to do is first import the chemistry SDK, and that's simply done. So there are three different classes of products. One is what we need to make, right? That we call those chemical industry products. The second is what we start from now, mainly petrochemicals. And the third we call platform molecules, and these are bio-based starting materials, so helping us to move away from the petrochemicals. So we have these as, CSV files with, I think, SMILE structures. That's how they're given in the supporting information for the paper. And so what we need to do is use a Python capability called a generator, and we can iterate over the objects or the molecules in each of these and then create molecule objects. So we define this function here, and what we need to do to run it is simply aim it at each of our CSV or tab separated variables files, and then use list comprehension to iterate over the generator and then put the results in these three lists. So these are going to be Python lists of our chemicals. So that's very easily done. Now, before we actually get on with making the big scatter plot, let's have a peep at some of these molecules just to make us feel comfortable. The way we do that is also explained in the kind of getting started to tutorial or the cookbook for the PPChem SDK shown in a previous video. We use these workhorse methods, calculate 2D coordinates and calculate picture, and we actually wrap them in some helper methods. So in this case, I'm going to display the images in a grid, and I'm going to use matplotlib to display things, and I'm going to use Pillow or the Python imaging library to store my images. So this thing takes in a list of pill images. To generate that list, I have another helper method which simply generates a pill image given a molecule. So we simply loop over our molecules in this list, generate the images, and then call our display images function. So these are the things that we want to make, preferably not starting with petrochemicals, except for maybe him. Okay, so we're going to be creating a scatter plot, and we want to put chemistry into that scatter plot. We're going to do it as tooltips. In order to make that work, we need another helper function, and what this does is it returns the thing as URL encoded JPEG, which our browser will be able to understand. So what is this plot? This plot is each molecule is plotted on the x-axis of molecular weight and the y-axis of the heteroatom content. So we can calculate properties with the PPChem SDK using this molprop_calc class. And the molecular weight is a straightforward call. The heteroatom content is a little bit trickier. So there I need to, check atom types and so on. And then I can calculate all the atoms which are not, hydrocarbons, and then figure out the heteroatom content from that. So I define that helper function here, and then I simply iterate over all the molecules I've got and calculate those properties. And I put them into lists for ease of plotting. So let's make the plot now. And to do that, I'm going to use Plotly and Dash. These are absolutely killer Python packages. I urge everyone to adopt them and to learn about them. There's a nice link to a tutorial there. And it's very simple to make the plot. So I'm using the graph objects capabilities of Plotly, and I simply say, those are my points, go, and it generates the plot. And now we can see why this might be a useful tool. So here along the bottom of the y-axis are all my petrochemicals. And these are the things I want to make, and these are the bio-based materials, which are way, way closer to the chemical products than these guys down here. The only thing is I'm not really getting here is chemistry, right? I just get the coordinates. This is the default tooltip that you get with Plotly. So can we use the PPChem SDK to actually spice this up a bit, make it more of a tool for the chemist? And the answer is, of course, yes. For that, you need to do a little bit of work in Dash. But essentially, the key bit is to tell Dash, if somebody's going to generate a tooltip, please call my function structure to image, and then away you go. And it does it. And now when I hover over a point, I can see the actual molecular structure. And I can see a much better synthetic route for making some of these chemical products. So that is a nice little use of the PPChem SDK to generate a tool which is of use for the synthetic chemist in helping us to attain a circular economy. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more PPChem SDK videos.